Hello everyone, welcome to my video. Now I'm gonna tell you some interesting topic about my research study. Before that, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Siluh Putu Sisylia Paramitha from 4A class. Okay, here we're gonna talk about two big points there. They are research quantitative background and the literature review. And in research background, we'll raise two questions here. They are why this topic and what is the significance of this topic. And in literature review, we'll raise two questions again. We will talk about what is the empirical point of view and what is the guided concept here. Okay, I know you are very excited to know those answers. So without any further ado, let's start this presentation. Okay, before I tell you the topic is, let's see this one first. Indonesian English Proficiency Index, or EPI, based on the data from EF Education First as global language teaching service provider, again launched the English Proficiency Index 2021. Okay, here, just focus on Indonesia. In 2021, Indonesian EPI achievements is ranked 80 out of 112 countries, or down 6 places compared to its position last year. Despite the increase in scores, this year Indonesia is still in the low category for English proficiency. All right, this will raise the question, what the biggest things to improve Indonesian language proficiency? Okay, based on that, my topic will rise is the impact of virtual meetings on EFL learners' social interaction skills. As you can see here, my topics has two variables. They are virtual meetings and EFL learners' social interaction skills. Okay, that's become our focus here to knowing the impact of the virtual meetings on EFL learners' social interaction skills on 4A class at English Language Education, Language and Art Faculty, Ganesha University of Education. So, what's the connection between language proficiency with social interaction? Let's see the answer on the background of the study. Okay, this is I give 3 points that can conclude my background. They are essential rule of English, language learners' goals, and learning media on pandemic COVID-19. Okay, let's see one by one. So the first is English has an essential role as a lingua franca. It is used dominantly by people around the world to communicate. English is global importance for the business or economic sector, diplomacy, tourism, education sector, science, and entertainment. Based on that statements, EFL is a crucial subject for finding ways to teach EFL in the modern educational challenges. The challenge of teaching English as a foreign language, or TEFL, is how to create an interactive environment which EFL learners can interact with each other. And interaction in EFL environments is highly valued for understanding the target language expression in developing language proficiency. Okay, next is language learners' goals. According to the expert, in language learning, the learner will be said to be successful if they can implement the integrated skills or 4 basic language skills. They are listening, reading, speaking, and writing. In real life communication, you must be note that in real life communication. And to achieve this objective, social interaction skills are one of several approaches to implement in the EFL context to use. Okay, and then the last is learning media on pandemic COVID-19. However, the current state of Indonesia is experiencing an unstable condition caused by COVID-19 pandemic. The government issued a new policy to stop the spread of COVID-19 virus in education sector by implementing online learning. But it is expected to be an alternative in overcoming the problem of independent learning that allows students to learn broader knowledge material in the internet world and this become a problem for EFL learners. And the virtual meeting is setting of the virtual classroom on online learning that force from face-to-face learning in classroom to e-learning class. And this or the virtual learning media commonly including using of e-learning, Zoom meetings, Google Meet, or Google Classroom. Okay, and then why become a problem here? Let's see the answer in the next slide. All right. The problem identification of this study are authentic communication, passive behavior, and learner's attitude. Why? Even the purpose of virtual classroom is more flexible and develop independent learning, some problems sometimes cannot realized by the students or teachers. Commonly, virtual classroom is not authentic. Lack of interaction in good communication, but as we know, the real success in teaching English is when the EFL learners can communicate in authentic ways, as I said before. And to achieve this objective, the students must develop their social interaction skills, include communication, collaborative, and integrated skills. And sometimes low interaction is the point of rise passive behavior on the students and attitude of learners is really crucial here to show be respect with each others, right? And then from background, we'll raise the research question here. You can see the research question can determine based on the background of the study. The research question is there any influence of virtual meeting towards EFL learners' social interaction skills in 4A class at English Language Education, Language and Art Faculty, Ganesha University of Education? And based on the research question, the purpose of the study are both of theoretical significance and practical significance. Okay, let's look at the theoretical first. The result of this research can enrich empirical references regarding the impact of the use of virtual learning on EFL learners' social interaction skills. And this study is expected to be a reference for experimental study, which elaborates the importance of influence of social interaction skills. And furthermore, in a more specific context, it is expected to be a reference for ELT in online learning to more concern with social interaction skills. And for practical significance here, this study is expected to influence the prospective EFL teachers to concern with the social interaction skills that we know really important for language learners. All right. And now we're going to talk about literature review. Literature review, I divided by two, both of theoretical review and empirical review. Okay, let's look this theoretical review first. The social constructivism from Lev-Vygotsky will be the guided concept here, or the guided concept in this study. Because we know social interaction is a social process where consists with participants who plays an active roles and aims mutually beneficial. And based on the importance of the social interaction skills are supported by this theory. And the theory showed that language and culture are interrelated, build the frameworks among individual experience, communicate and understand reality. And from the constructivist, sees the knowledge that learners construct by their experience themselves in collaboration with their environment. And this story will be given consideration in this study about collaborative learning that support based on 3 dimensions. They are interaction, discussion, and sharing, right? And now we'll look at the empirical point of view, right? So The empirical study about social interaction support the statements about the importance to consider about social interaction for language learning. Actually, from several empirical data and empirical study, I conclude by 3 points here or 3 study here. The first one is related to the impact of interaction on second language in the Saudi EFL context, result in positive improved language learning outcome. And then the second is based beside the positive improve. In some cases, learners' speaking skills are often quite low compared to their listening, reading, and writing skill. This is caused by a lack of practice and learners rarely interact with each others. And the last is the difficulties with technology such as login problem, internet connection problem, and microphone problem perhaps were real barriers to participation in virtual meetings. Then, some empirical studies concerned with the technological or technical challenge of virtual meeting can reduce the effectiveness of the social interaction, but very crucial to consider with the challenge how to make EFL learners influence their communication skills through real communication, prevent passive behavior, and attitudes. Because we know, as I said before, the real success in teaching English is when the EFL learners can communicate in English in authentic ways. All right, that's all my presentation about research background and literature review of my research study, quantitative research study, the impact of virtual meetings on EFL learners' social interaction skills. I'm really waiting for your suggestion, comment, or critique are very welcome. Thank you for your attention and see ya.